What might have been an exceptional career-boosting moment eventually turned out to be the most horrifying and life-taking moment for the Canadian filmmaker Rob Stewart as he made his final dive one last time. What happened? How did he die? And what happened to his body? Many more questions will be answered right here in this video. Join us as we take a good look into the life and the final moments of Rob Stewart and try to answer the tempting questions that surround his unexpected demise. You know what they say, coming events cast their shadow long before, and something similar is the case of Rob Stewart. Born on 28th December 1979 in Toronto, Canada, Rob always had a keen interest in films and the world beneath the waters. Underwater was like the second home for this unique kid. He would feel as comfortable underwater as on land. Following his interest and passion, Rob got a scuba diving certificate at the mere age of 13. I don't know how he convinced his parents for it, but yeah, it was certainly worth it. With proper training and an ever-growing love for the world beneath water, Rob explored every corner of the lake or river he dived into. Quite often when he would come out, he would have some aquatic being on his hand like a trophy for his completed mission. Rob became a scuba diving trainer at the age of 18 and then moved on to pursue a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, studying in Ontario, Canada, Jamaica, and Kenya. Rob's exceptional career started probably from his college life when he was studying in Western Ontario for his degree in biology. While studying, Rob chose wildlife photography as a side hustle to fulfill his inner longings of nature and explore the world, especially the one beneath deep waters, to a greater extent. He was the chief photographer for the Canadian Wildlife Federation's magazines, where he faced the harsh truth of wildlife for the first time. I've heard animals were endangered and all that sort of stuff, but it never really impacted me much, he says. It wasn't until I was in Borneo and I saw proboscis monkeys getting encroached on by palm oil plantations and was in the Galapagos and found sharks getting longline. That was really big. All these direct encounters with the shady reality of wildlife inspired him to put light on the critical and unspoken issues related to oceans and their inhabitants. With this, he inspired many people to take the right action in regard to saving the ocean and its beings. This led him to win multiple awards as a journalist, which he pursued as a freelancer. He understood that films were a great medium to share sensible messages with the rest of the world and make people take action. That's why he started filmmaking, combining his important messages for the world with the unmatchable beauty of the underground ecosystem to leave a lasting impression on his viewers. Rob's first big step towards his passion and conservatism came in 2006 when he released his first ever documentary called Sharkwater at the age of just 22. Seeking ideas from the illegal longline fishing in the Galapagos Marine Reserve, Rob traveled to more than 15 countries in the next 4 years to learn about sharks. Putting his photo shooting skills to their best use, the Canadian legend filmed hundreds of sharks from different parts of the world and prepared a documentary that would go on to win over 40 high-level awards. The documentary included the critical challenges of society regarding shark finning and how it impacts the existence of sharks and the maintenance of the overall water ecosystem. In the project, Rob also criticized current government policies regarding shark finning and suggested several steps that could be taken to protect more sharks and balance the ecosystem. And guess what? People loved Sharkwater more than it was expected. The project was widely appreciated and won more than 40 top-level awards. Financially as well, the documentary broke several box office records. Most importantly of all, this project helped Rob achieve his goal of spreading more awareness about shark protection and a prohibition against brutal shark finning techniques. Rob's follow-up film was titled Revolution, in which the filmmaker talked extensively about Sharkwater and the environmental collapse that would fall upon humankind if the ocean ecosystem is imbalanced. The documentary includes some brutal yet true facts that force you to think again about your actions regarding ocean preservation. It's no wonder why the documentary became the highest-grossing Canadian documentary and received 19 awards from global film festivals. Rob's determination and dedication towards the conservation of the ocean and its inhabitants, especially sharks, can also be seen through his book titled Save the Humans. Published in 2012, it's a biography that contains extensive content regarding the importance of sharks in his life and his mission to make a lasting impact on the ocean. After looking at the amazing appreciation and warm response from the audience to his first film, Sharkwater, Rob decided that he would delve deeper into the ocean this time and bring before the world something more related to sharks and oceans. His target was to lay importance on those 80 million sharks that are killed every year and go unnoticed in scientists' research. For this, he also started a Kickstarter to fund his project. He wanted to do something big this time, if only he knew what he was preparing for. But before we force ourselves to revisit the moments of the horrible 31st January 2017, the last dive of Rob Stewart, it's important to know what he's achieved with his love and passion for sharks and oceans. During his life, Rob achieved more than 59 awards for his 2 films, 40 for Sharkwater and 19 for Revolution. Rob's Sharkwater also got him the award for the Best Documentary and the Audience Favorite Award at the 2006 Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival, the People's Choice Award at the 2006 Atlantic Film Festival, and even a special jury award at the 2006 Hawaii International Film Festival. In 2008, Rob also received a Genie Award for the Best Documentary and won the Genesis Award for Outstanding Documentary as well. For his invaluable steps taken towards the protection of sharks and the wellness of the ocean, Rob was rewarded with the Environmental Vision Award at the 35th Annual Vision Award in 2008 held in Los Angeles. It was January 31st, 2017, and it also started like any other day for Rob Stewart. He woke up with a unique mission this morning, the mission to capture a sawfish for his documentary. Reportedly, a sawfish swam through the sunken wreck of the Queen of Nassau. The sawfish was once common in the tropical waters of the Atlantic. There were some 20-foot sharks with a 5-foot-long saw attached to their front. However, these were hunted down to near extinction, and the reality today is that divers only get a glimpse of sawfishes during their dives, that too quite rarely. Before you think something about witnessing a huge sawfish, it vanishes deep under the ocean, somewhere it can't be found. Stewart was very determined to get a sawfish on his camera that day so he could talk more about what caused the sudden drop in its population and how it mattered for the humans. But little did he know about the horrifying fate that awaited him that day. So on January 31st, 2017, Rob Stewart boarded the dive boat Pisces on the little island of Islamorada, which is located near Key Largo, Florida. His destination was the Queen of Nassau, a Canadian steamship sitting 70 meters and 270 feet deep under the surface of the water, holding many secrets of the ocean and ultimately the fate of Rob Stewart. He boarded the ship with a small crew that included the ship captain David Wilkerson, his friend and collaborator Brock Howell, dive instructor Peter Sodas, and Peter's wife Claudia, who is also a doctor. The 37-year-old scuba diver jumped into the ocean that day, hoping he would film that rare sawfish on camera and shed light on the critical issues regarding its extinction and life. However, none of the 2 planned dive attempts helped Rob get that swordfish on camera. When Stewart and Sodas came out of their second diving attempt, they realized that they had left a grappling hook on the wreck attached to a buoy on the surface, and in order to get the boat running again, that needed to be unhooked. So the 2 divers, Rob and Sodas, went deep underwater again. When they resurfaced for the 3rd time, just after 5 p.m. in the evening, Stewart gave the OK sign. But just a moment later, Sodas fell unconscious and needed urgent medical assistance, and the rest of the crew went ahead to help him. Stewart, who was still underwater, vanished. "Where did Rob go?" cried Cal as he noticed that Rob was missing from their sight. Paul Watson, who was a marine conservationist and environmental activist, noticed that Rob was using a rebreather for the first time in his life, and that might have rendered him unconscious, as well. Whatever it was, Rob was missing, and this was huge news for the world. The news of Rob Stewart going missing underwater spread like wildfire, and rescue teams from different countries and wildlife organizations started acting right away. The goal was straightforward: locate Rob Stewart and bring him to safety. The magnitude of this rescue operation reached very high levels, employing the use of high-tech tools and different methods to locate Stewart. It was a desperate moment, and every piece of evidence and information was meticulously analyzed with the hope that it would lead the search operation somewhere. Alas, days turned into nights, and nights into other days, but nothing happened. It was the time that tested people's optimism and faith. Stewart's friends and family were hoping that he would resurface again, alive and well, and would have finally filmed the sawfish he was after. Julie Anderson, a close friend and colleague of Rob, even said that there had been no possible way he hadn't been on a boat full of college co-eds and in the Bahamas drinking coconuts. Rob's disappearance underwater was like a surprise for everyone. It was probably the fate of his friends and fans and the fierce determination of the search teams that searched more than 6,000 square miles of ocean that Stewart's body was finally found. On February 3rd, the United States Coast Guard located the body of Rob Stewart in the water approximately 61 meters, 200 feet down, very close to where he had disappeared. Finally, his funeral was held at Bloor Street United Church in Toronto on February 18, 2017. A few months later, Rob's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the equipment providers that provided Rob with the equipment for his final fatal dive. The family claimed that the company provided equipment that didn't meet U.S. safety standards and that the absence of a dive leader caused the demise of their son. Rob's last project, Sharkwater Extinction, was finally completed by film and story editor Nick Hector and director Sturria Gunnarsson for the Rob Stewart Foundation. The documentary premiered at the 2018 Toronto International Film Festival as a special event and gathered heartwarming feedback. Rob's mother, Sandy Stewart, said that they had so many people from around the world, filmmakers, cinematographers, and editors offering to help complete Rob's final project, and she was very glad that her son was able to leave such an enduring impression on people. Now, as we conclude the video, we must receive and act upon the message of ocean conservation and the determination for passion left from Rob Stewart. He was a star both in real and reality. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel, and yes, hit that like button if you're at it too. See you all in another thought-provoking video soon.